cryptocurrency, IDme, supersonic technology, and Facebook content curation. These are the core topics today. Welcome back to Digital Insecurity. Today, we're going to go over a variety of technology and really digital security concepts. So let's jump into this. The first one we have here, this is a comment on MSN. Now, we've had a lot of misinformation in the space of cryptocurrency, and it's still not clear whether or not a discouragement is being implemented in order to pull people back so that it can be bought at a lower amount and run forward. We certainly have seen that quite a bit in hedge funds and manipulating the stock market. So take this with a grain of salt, but it does go into a larger picture of what we're looking at. And once again, I'm sorry, we get these blocks up here and they kind of disappear when they want to. So the title here is not showing. Okay, so this is by Taylor Locke. It was posted yesterday afternoon. This is a view of the Dogecoin coin, which call it like it is, it's a doggy coin. And so there's an update on this. Jackson Palmer, the co-creator of the meme-inspired cryptocurrency Dogecoin, which is the one that Elon Musk really touted and gave it a big lift, made a rare return to Twitter on Wednesday and some harsh words about crypto in general. And his statement is, I am often asked if I will return to cryptocurrency or begin regularly sharing my thoughts on the topic again. My answer is wholeheartedly no. And again, this was a brief return to Twitter. He'd even jumped off that platform as well. In 2013, Palmer and Marcus created Dogecoin as a joke. It's just a joke based on the Doge meme. Again, doggy, which portrays a Shiba Inu dog. Marcus and Palmer didn't intend for the coin to be taken seriously, but the coin has recently taken off and is currently one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market value. These guys just created a joke. Earlier this year, it hit an all-time high of nearly 74 cents. Despite its recent surge in popularity, they haven't profited, as both sold out long before the meteoric rise. In the Twitter thread, Palmer criticized those in power in the cryptocurrency space, saying it is controlled by a powerful cartel of wealthy figures. It is all being manipulated. The more money that they can pull in, the more money they can take out of your pockets, who have evolved to incorporate many of the same institutions tied to existing centralized financial system. So even if it wasn't created in the centralized financial system or banking structure or world monopoly, as we know, money monopoly, they're saying they created this as a joke. They're long gone, and it's now being grossly manipulated. So it's a little bit of heads up here. Again, I'm sorry, we still can't pop up that title yet, but it's reviewing cryptocurrency and stability. So this is on MSN. The co-creator of Dogecoin explains why he doesn't plan to return to cryptocurrency. It's controlled by a powerful cartel of wealthy figures. Let's jump into the next one. This one's actually quite exciting. This is on ZDNet. This was also last evening. Amy posted this. Cloud technology is underpinning Boom's speedy development of its supersonic jets. Look, I gotta say, that's just beautiful. There's no way around that. That's just amazing. So this is Boom Supersonic jet manufacturer Boom expects that by the end of the decade, its Overture aircrafts will be able to fly passengers worldwide in half the time that would typically be spent flying in a commercial jetliner. But Boom Sonic founder and CEO admitted that without the company running in the cloud, it would not have otherwise been possible to design something like Overture. He explained traditionally, developing new aircraft is a very compute intensive. You've got to use the fast computing power and requires manufacturers to build their own compute clusters in-house, which can inhibit a manufacturer's ability to run simulations. And therefore, the ideas that can be tested and designs that could come to market. One of the most well-known and longest running simulation companies is CACI. You can buy off-the-shelf simulation software from them, and they do cater quite a bit to the aerospace industry. Running in the cloud, we're able to tap into virtually unlimited compute capacity when we need it. When we've got a key question or a bunch of different designs we want to try, we could suddenly build one of the world's largest supercomputers, run hundreds of wind tunnel tests in parallel, all in simulation, and also comparing to what they're seeing in the real world, and then be able to pick the winners. And this is a speech that he gave at the Amazon Innovation Day 2021. And of course, we know Amazon AWS, Amazon Web Services, to be the largest cloud provider with great expanse with their EC2 and Beanstalk models. You can buy basically an off-the-shelf software as a service model, in this case, cloud as a service, and make it expansive and draw it down when you don't need it. So you're really only paying for what you use, which offers great opportunity for simulations. For example, one of the most difficult things to get right in supersonic aircraft is the ability to go very efficiently at high speed, but also take off and land safely in a controlled way. Those two goals or intentions require a lot of experimentation. So there you go. So this is cloud technology underpinning Boom's speedy development of its supersonic aircrafts. And this was on ZDNet. I can see that this one has brought down again, but it does refresh when I get to it. So here we go. It came up quickly. This is just an overview. I typed in digital security for today. And we've got well-intentioned lawmakers risk weakening existing digital security protections. Your lawmakers don't know anything about security. They are not protecting you. They are all about putting money in their pocket and money in the pocket of those lobbyists. This is scary. Here's a PSA. Western digital security issues go beyond My Book Live series. So there's more information about something common you might have within your home. Digital security market to see massive growth by 2026. Well, of course, Cisco, Thales, Broadcom, Trend Micro. And so we know there's going to be uptick. If you're looking for a job, this is a great environment to get into across the board. And why security is paramount in a digital first economy. In today's digital first world, businesses are rethinking their approach to security. Instead of traditional reactive approach, a band-aid of security solutions, systems are now looking for solutions at active risk management. So what are the active attacks in the infrastructure? And also, how can they prevent it to begin with? Which, I'm sorry, preventing to begin, there's only so much you can do, but you do need to take those steps and learn the basics if you're gathering data from anybody. And here's another one. New report, selfie IDs check the digital security box for 76% of millennials. So there you go. It shows that digitally savvy consumers are particularly anxious about their account and digital identity. And so there's more awareness. In California, we have quite strict laws on data privacy, but there's no enforcement whatsoever. At best, they'll get a slap on the wrist, and then they might get a pseudo voluntary or imposed tax for the penalty. But you and I, who have our information grabbed and sold, there's nothing there. GDPR in Western Europe is the best we've seen. And they actually prosecute. So any prosecutions you're going to see into our tech companies are primarily coming from Europe for those reasons. Here's MSN, Vox.com. Facebook wants creators, but YouTube is paying creators much, much more. Facebook has nearly 3 billion users. So lots of people use Facebook to reach that giant audience, but Facebook wants even more people posting more stuff on its platform. So it's going to pay out about $1 billion by year end of 2022 to encourage creators, people who make internet content. So this is curated content you find together. You might piece things together, make a presentation based on what you have, and then it's either fun or for profit, but generally they're running full-fledged media companies to make stuff for Facebook and Instagram. So up till now, Facebook has not wanted to pay in this area. What you build communities. And here Facebook wants to rival YouTube and start paying for those creators. So we'll see what that's worth. When you make stuff for YouTube, you get a chance to make money the same way YouTube makes money from ads that run next to the videos from your YouTube. Now with the, YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours per the annual cycle, and it re-clicks every year from that point. So it's a moving target as it moves forward. And then you can apply as a partner. Those terms are definitely changing, and YouTube has reiterated that don't get your britches too tight, because you are not truly a partner. Terms change, and your content and channel can be completely erased as if you never exist without even notice. So with a tentative step, individuals stepping into the Facebook space really need to go forward as well. Never build a business on a single platform, because when the rug gets ripped, it's all gone. Here's another one. We've got verify your identity. This is what we've seen nationwide, but specifically in California with the EDD. This is the unemployment system that's out here. They decided that they required individuals who had applied for unemployment in California to use a private company to send all their most personal data, so Social Security card, passport, driver's license, personal information about them, via an open network with no security whatsoever. And within that, there's no guarantees that it won't be bought or sold or shared or leaked. So if in fact it says here the deadline has passed to use IDme to verify your identity, we will determine your eligibility for benefits based on information available and mail you a notice of determination. If you're disqualified, you have rights to appeal. In my case, we had fallen into this because of a shift at the company I was working at, and I refused to work with IDme. So I went to a state representative, and they handled the process for me, which they sent via secure process. And here again is the EDD response for that issue. But what I wanted to do, really, as we're looking into more and more companies coming up and providing solutions, you got to question them. If somebody says, hey, you need this for that, that's the government ploy right now. Hey, we will hold out this carrot and we will give you money if in fact, and only in fact, you open up your whole life to us. That is not okay. Take a stand. So what I wanted to do here was show you once again the topic that I always look at, and this is on QuickBooks. I'm sorry, on Crunchbase. Crunchbase has been one of the best sources to look at. They've changed and tightened it down as they've gone to a billing model, but it does allow you to go in and put in the company name. Here I put in IDme, which is the one that we saw over here at the Intuit link here, IDme. So that's where I came up with that. And you can look right in here, and I'm going to cut this so you can dig in more if you want more details, but in future videos, we will go a little bit deeper. This talks about the number of acquisitions, total funding amount, a number of contacts that are tied to this, number of employees, 7 employees, and they got this national account worth a hefty salary, and 31 investors. So you can see who's invested in this company and who's profiting. You can see their rounds of investment, what industries. They were founded in 2010, they're 10 years old, but really they didn't launch until about 2019, 2020. So they're very much up and coming. And the core founders, what are they tied to within the structure? It's really a vast amount of information that you can get here. So I'm just going to leave you with this one right here. These are the 7 core founders, co-founder, chief people officer, founder, director, CTO, chief product officer, and CFO. What I don't see on this list is the CISO, right? This is a security company. So that's very interesting as well, but they gained a major contract and a boost and have all your data. So if you're on a site like LinkedIn, you might want to start connecting with these individuals and view their profiles, their connections, and find out how they got this massive contract and how stable their company is with this massive grab of personal data that they help themselves to through this contract. Now, I wanted to point out one more thing from yesterday's stream. I talked about how AI is leading the world. In fact, it's controlling the world. The tail is now wagging the dog. And this is how AI is now predicting the market. One of the greatest manipulations we have in society is that of our market, stock market. They take your money, it has to be there for 30, 40, 50 years until you retire. And through that time, they're scraping off and manipulating as much as they can. And here we've seen yet another company pop up, establishing how AI is predicting the market for you, market manipulation. This is going over today, digital insecurity, cryptocurrency, IDme, supersonic technology, and Facebook content. Digital insecurity, out.